This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Now at 7, Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett and IMPD leaders are putting into action a public safety plan to address the city's rising rates of homicide and violent crime.
The push comes as city leaders say some efforts have been held back by the coronavirus pandemic.
Make no mistake, despite the challenges of 2020, the men and the women of IMPD, the men and the women of our Office of Public Health and Safety, and thousands of community members remain steadfastly committed to abolishing violence in our city.
The new efforts announced today include hotspot policing in specific crime-prone areas within officers' beats, a public education campaign to promote violence prevention programs and resources, and a program that will give domestic violence victims a safe place to stay. City leaders also cited the Safe Summer program and the rollout of body cameras for all IMPD officers.
Meanwhile, the city is encouraging people to fill out a survey with their thoughts on public safety. RTV6's Troy Washington is working for you, listening to the voices of those who are ready now for improvements.
This community was rocked, not just this community, but this state.
Antonio Patton is standing just feet away from the spot where 2 teens were murdered last year.
It ripped my heart out of my chest.
He's a city life director for the Far East Side, but not only that, he's from the neighborhood and knew teenagers Nicholas and Ashlyn Nelson.
That blood actually revitalized the purpose within me that wakes me up every morning when I get up.
He's fired up about change, and he says if this city public safety survey can help in any way, he's all in.
Don't come in thinking you're going to fix us. We don't need to be fixed. We need opportunities.
For him, the questions here are just a starting point.
After the survey, to start placing things that's on that survey in this community.
The city says that's the plan. The city released a statement to RTV6 saying soon they'll be launching community conversations via Zoom to encourage more discussion and to get more feedback.
It's deeper than all of that. It's so much more than just what you see, like, on the top.
Jay Jones is a mother to a 3-year-old son. She didn't know about the survey until we showed up. But she believes her son's well-being rides heavily on improvements.
Because the kids, they grow up like that, seeing that every day. That's what they're going to come out here and do.
She says the top 3 issues that come to mind for her would be gun violence, homicides, and drugs.
He loves all the violence because that's all he sees. I want to let him go to the park, but it's like I have to be on him 24/7. I have to watch him.
Jones is looking at the survey, hoping something good comes of it so she can worry less. Working for you on the Far East Side, Troy Washington, RTV6.
The city says it designed the survey so that families without internet can submit input at their local library or through a shared computer space. We've got a link to the survey when you read this story on the IndyChannel.com or on the RTV6 app.
And checking in now, Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory. Kevin, it was a little cloudy out today, a little gloomy.
Yeah, gloomy, but it will brighten things up tomorrow. Perfect timing, right? As you head into the weekend. So yesterday at this time, we were watching the radar for approaching thunderstorms that were lining up in Illinois. Brought a disappointing amount of rain, but I'll never complain. Any rain is good rain at this point. We can use a good soaking. Doesn't appear to be one in the forecast. We've had just over 2.5 inches of rain and average 4.5 by the end of the month. There are the clouds that Amanda talked about. It brought us one of the coolest days that we've had so far this month. There are breaks in the cloud cover. Just to confirm that, we're out in Putnam County, DePaul University with our Weather Now camera. And skies will gradually clear tonight, at least go partly cloudy. During the day tomorrow, temperatures will be warmer. It's 79 in Logansport and Kokomo. Temperatures in western Indiana warmer because sunshine broke through the cloud cover earlier. What do we wake up to? The coolest morning in the 7-day forecast. We're still in the 60s tomorrow morning, but as you'll see in the 7-day forecast, not again. Overnight lows are quite warm. So where does that put our afternoon high? We'll focus on that coming up.
And we are keeping track of the impact coronavirus is having on Indiana. Today, the State Department of Health reported an additional 735 positive cases and 10 deaths. According to the Regan Streif Institute, the state's rate of cases, deaths, and hospital admissions are all increasing. Right now, about 32% of the state's ICU beds are available. And a reminder for parents of IPS students, you have until tomorrow to register for full-time virtual learning. The district is offering virtual and in-person options when school begins on August 3rd. Students attending school in person will have to wear masks. Students will get one free mask and they will be able to take breaks from wearing them during the day.
With COVID-19 cases starting to increase again in Indiana, some families may be hesitant to put their kids back in school. But as RTV6's Stephanie Wade shows us, there is a new online option which families anywhere across the state can now take advantage of.
Back in March, Phelan Leadership Academies, with 12 schools teaching 5,000 children throughout Indiana, surveyed their families about returning to the classroom with fears over COVID-19.
About a third of our parents said they weren't comfortable sending their children back until there was some type of vaccine or some type of treatment.
So they created PLA Virtual, a new statewide tuition-free online school for families grades K through 12.
Side to side. And I say
we have somebody in the home who has a pre-existing condition. We have a really tight home situation. So I think PLA Virtual is great for that parent.
For us, the virtual learning is the safest option.
It's what David and Linda Rich opted for their adopted children, Bryant and Brianna.
I think because we have seen from a distance several family members get that COVID, they don't want to be a danger to myself and my husband either.
70 years old with diabetes and her husband, a cancer survivor. They feel this was the safest bet rather than risking being back in the classroom.
Now, I think it's not a good idea at this time because so much is changing with this virus. The numbers are not going down as much as I would have thought by now. They're going up.
Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
About 100 families are already signed up for the PLA Virtual. The online program begins August 11th, and you still have an opportunity to sign up. If you need technology or Wi-Fi connectivity, they can help you with that.
Universities and families of college students are also facing changes as the fall semester approaches. RTV6's Cornelius Hawker shows you the challenges they're facing and the trend experts are seeing among college-aged Hoosiers.
Lucia and Arshad Zafar know this school year is going to be very different for both their daughters. Sophia is heading to 8th grade, but their oldest daughter, Malia, is heading back to IU, and the pandemic is changing the way they plan to see each other.
I see a lot of trips to Bloomington for us going to Bloomington to go see her.
They can't take any chances because they don't want to risk bringing the virus back to their Oma, who's 86 years old.
She has some underlying health issues, so every time we go to see her, we're always, with our masks on and things, social distance. I don't think any of us has given her a hug in like 3 months, and we're all huggers, so that's probably the roughest part of it all.
To keep her family safe when they visit, Malia plans to do this.
But all of my classes are online, so I'll probably just try and stay in my apartment as much as possible. Definitely get outside and go on runs and stuff. Probably won't be attending the gym or anything.
Malia says she and her Alpha Sig sorority sisters are going to be very careful because they know COVID is in Bloomington, and many of their classmates are not taking it as seriously as they are, especially when it comes to partying and the bars.
And I know 2 weeks ago or maybe 3 weeks ago now, one of their bartenders tested positive for COVID. And I'm still seeing on people's Snapchat stories 2 days later, people were going there and hanging out with their friends. And I was like, how can you in good conscience go there even for your own safety?
And that's a big issue, according to Brian Dixon with the Regan Street Institute, a research organization in Indianapolis.
Parents need to talk to their kids about is that, hey, if you're going to go out and you're going to party and you're not going to take precautions, then you might need to stay away.
Regan Street has a COVID-19 dashboard where they compile data about the virus from across the state. In these recent weeks, there has been an increase in positive tests for those younger than 30.
Yeah, we are absolutely concerned that younger people, even though they individually are not affected in terms of needing hospitalization and extreme care, that they will kind of carry it to coworkers or people that they spend time with, their parents.
That's why the Savars, like many families with school-age kids, are not taking any chances, hoping everyone else does the same.
If you enjoy being on campus and you enjoy your ability to go out and see people and get your studies done and work and play and do all those things, that benefits everyone, for everyone to be careful.
Working for you, Cornelius Hawker, RTV6.
Students returning to IU must be tested for COVID-19 whether they live on or off campus. Masks will also be required, and a lot of the classes will be taught virtually.
Still ahead on RTV6 News at 7, more stores are requiring face masks. What you need to know about when these rules go into effect.
But first, a traditional healthcare method is making a comeback. Why house calls could be the key to keeping people healthy amid the pandemic.
This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Welcome back. House calls are getting a new life as health officials worry many people are putting off routine visits to the doctor. Chris Conte shows you how this old idea might be a new way to manage stress surrounding the pandemic while helping people who are isolated at home.
We have been forced by the virus to reimagine nearly everything, not the least of which is the way the American healthcare system functions.
It's pretty profound.
That is Stacy Chang. He's with the Design Institute for Health in Texas. And he says at this critical juncture, an old practice could be getting new life, the house call.
People don't want to go to clinics, right? People don't even want to go to grocery stores.
With so many of us avoiding the doctor right now, Chang says a reinvention of the house call could be a viable solution. And new portable technology means doctors could do everything from an ultrasound to checking your oxygen levels.
The notion of a house call means that the care provider, whether a physician or a nurse, can come in and get a more comprehensive view of you as a person.
Aside from keeping people away from hospitals where COVID-19 might be lurking, the house call gives physicians a chance to get to know their patients. Spending more than 10 minutes with someone in an office would give doctors a better chance to treat chronic diseases.
It's really a relationship between the person who's caring for you and the person who's being cared for.
The cost of a house call typically will cost you around $130, but most Medicare plans cover some kind of house visit. And physicians are worried that Americans in isolation are avoiding routine checkups. This idea could help manage some of that pressure while keeping people healthy.
The care that didn't happen, the routine care for managing chronic diseases and the people who would have gone in for interventions, we may end up having greater mortality from those missed interventions than COVID itself actually caused.
As we navigate life during a pandemic, the house call might be just what the doctor ordered. I'm Chris Conte reporting.
You could feel it. We got a break from the heat today, but look what returns. Triple-digit heat index temperatures for the weekend. What about rain? That story's next.
More retail chains and grocery stores are making face masks a requirement for shoppers. Yesterday, we told you Kroger will mandate masks beginning July 22nd. Now, CVS and Target are adding the same requirement. The CVS policy goes into effect Monday, Target on August 1st. Target says it will provide disposable masks at entrances to customers who don't have one. Target noted 80% of its stores already required masks or facial coverings because of local and state regulations.
Well, we had some rain last night, not enough to really help us out in the overall scheme of things. If you've thought it's dry at your house, of course you know whether it is or not. You're right. This is the latest drought monitor. And as you look at all of central Indiana, anything in yellow represents where you're abnormally dry. And we'll have a chance for some thunderstorms over the weekend and early next week, but at least early on, they're hit and miss. Shouldn't be any widespread rainfall. What we need is a good soaking rain for all of central Indiana. Keep things looking pretty green and help the farmers. We need some rain there too. Rain chances tomorrow, not there. We'll be dry tomorrow. The chance just 20 to 30% Saturday and Sunday. Monday, rain chances go up, but most likely Tuesday and Wednesday. Top of the scale this weekend for our humidity. Any thunderstorms that would develop would have heavy rainfall just because the air is so humid, lots of moisture there. What we'll do with that moisture is just make it feel warmer. You'll sweat. The sweat won't evaporate from your skin because the air doesn't want it. It's already nearly saturated, so you're denying your body the cooling process of evaporation, and it feels like 105 at times. That's flip the cube here. 90 tomorrow with lots of sunshine. Wind will be fairly light. We step it up as we go into the weekend. Keep our rain chances low. Temperatures peak on Sunday, both the high temperature and the heat index. And the triple-digit heat index is common Saturday as well. Friday forecast tomorrow starting around 70 degrees. All that sunshine helps boost the temperature back to 90. Quite a different day than today, where our high temperature didn't occur until very late in the day because of all that cloud cover. Temperatures from the upper 80s to low 90s through the afternoon hours. That's the way we end the work week. We step into the weekend. Very humid, one way to describe it. Temperatures, as we mentioned, Saturday and Sunday, low to mid 90s. Your hourly forecast on Saturday, noon 87. Can't rule out the afternoon thunderstorms, mainly during the heat of the day. From north to south, west to east, you're not really going to escape the heat. Maybe those isolated thunderstorms will bring you some temporary relief, but all it does is add more moisture to the air after the thunderstorms are gone. Timeline as you go through the afternoon, maybe a spotty shower or thunderstorm, but again, the chances are low. 7-day forecast, you're looking for rain, the best chances on the right-hand side of your screen. Tuesday, Wednesday, both days where there's about a 60% chance we'll have thunderstorms, temperatures in the upper 80s, and then lows staying in the 70s. Amanda?
All right, thank you, Kevin. Several countries are accusing Russia of hacking coronavirus vaccine trials. The U.S., UK, and Canada say Russians are trying to steal information. The three countries say a hacking group that is likely part of the Russian intelligence service is attacking academic and pharmaceutical institutions. It is still unclear whether any information has been stolen.
Now to the massive hack that Twitter experienced yesterday, the company's biggest security breach ever. Hackers seized control of verified accounts belonging to politicians, celebrities, and billionaires in a virtual heist to get people to turn over their money. ABC's Zoreen Shaw shows you how Twitter thinks hackers pulled it off.
It was a coordinated attack on some of the most influential tweeters, yet the biggest victims, arguably ordinary Americans and their wallets. Hackers took control of the Twitter accounts of Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Kanye West, and Kim Kardashian, just to name a few. Together, those users with hundreds of millions of followers. Each compromised account posting the same message, falsely telling followers Bitcoin contributions to a link would be doubled. Bitcoin is a virtual currency not recognized by the U.S. government. It can be really hard to trace. The tweets were pulled from the site, and Twitter briefly cut off all verified accounts, users with those blue check marks, from being able to tweet. Twitter says the issue was resolved. Company officials believe the hackers got access to the accounts after targeting employees with internal access. The company is launching an investigation, but the FBI is also getting involved. Experts don't believe the attack was from another government, but they warn an attack like this could still have massive consequences.
They could have used this access to announce a merger and acquisition in the name of Bill Gates or Elon Musk, which would have immediately affected stock prices. Or, I don't know, they could have waited for November until presidential elections in the United States, and then on election day, they could tweet something awful from one of the presidential candidates in USA.
Just an example of how influential a fake tweet can be. 7 years ago, Syrian hackers tweeted a false claim that President Obama was injured. That tweet alone sent the entire stock market plunging. Zoreen Shaw, ABC News, Los Angeles.
A wild scene on the streets of South Florida this morning when a kangaroo got loose. The animal was someone's pet, which is illegal in Fort Lauderdale. Police and wildlife officers worked to wrangle the kangaroo to safety, eventually putting a leash around its neck and loading it into a police cruiser. Tonight, the kangaroo is safe at a wildlife facility.
It's a big operation to try to capture that thing. All right, sunshine tomorrow. You like that, Amanda? All right. I got some feedback. Temperatures hits almost 90 in the afternoon with lots of sunshine.
All right. Thank you, Kevin. And thank you for making RTV6 your choice for news. We'll be back right here at 11.